And let me thank my colleagues. Let me thank New Jersey, Washington State, Massachusetts, California, all of their staffs, all the states in our coalition. I don't think there is a group of people, Americans, who are fighting harder as a group, as a coalition, than we are to protect the American people and to be a firewall for our states and for every state and everyone in this country. As General Platkin said, the 14th Amendment is strong, alive, and well, and birthright citizenship remains at this moment the law of the land. It's the law of the land because we acted, but it's also the law of the land because the 14th Amendment means what it says. If you're born on American soil, you're an American, period. And the Supreme Court affirmed that principle more than 100 years ago in San Francisco in the case of Wong Kim Ark. I'm here this morning not just because I'm an attorney general and I represent the great state of Connecticut, but because I too am Wong Kim Ark. There are millions of Americans who share Wong Kim Ark's story. There are millions, thousands of American babies who are being born, about to be born, were just born, who are also Wong Kim Ark. There are so many of us that share and embody the truth of Wong Kim Ark and his story, that the 14th Amendment confers citizenship on us, that we don't derive our citizenship from our parents. We derive our citizenship by operation of the 14th Amendment and the Bill of Rights and the United States Constitution. This is the most solemn, sacred guarantee covenant that this country makes to the people that live here, to Americans, to people born here in American soil, and that's what we're fighting for. I also want to just put in perspective what this means. We've talked a lot about the rule of law. We've talked about the constitutional crisis that we're in. We've talked about the 14th Amendment and how the Constitution works. But at the end of the day, this is about real people. It's about families. It's about children. It's about babies. And I want to take you back 52 years ago, when I was born in Hartford, Connecticut. I became the first American citizen in my immediate family by right of my birth in Hartford Hospital on American soil. So let's fast forward to 2025. What if William Tong or Wong Kim Ark or any of the millions of Americans like us were born now, today, or 30 days from now, when this court order takes effect? What would that mean for us? Well, right now in Connecticut and in the sister states that were part of this coalition, frankly, in every state right now, it means I'm an American citizen. If I'm born a minute from now in Connecticut and anywhere in this country, I'm an American citizen. But there is already considerable uncertainty because the court said, well, in 30 days, we'll be in a different place. And it's not clear what will happen after those 30 days in states like Texas, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, who weren't part of our case. So even if there's a family here in Connecticut and a baby is born a minute from now, and that baby is an American citizen in Connecticut, how will they be regarded in other states? And let's fast forward to 30 days from now. We're going to go into court and we're going to fight hard. And I believe within the next 30 days, we're going to get more clarity and we're going to prevail. But in 30 days, if that's not the case and we still have uncertainty, if I'm born in Connecticut, yes, the injunction still applies to me. Birthright citizenship is still the law of the land in Connecticut. But what about in Pennsylvania? What about in Texas? What if a pregnant woman in Connecticut goes to Texas, goes to Pennsylvania, goes to Louisiana, goes to Utah, and has the baby there? Then what happens? As General Campbell said, what if they're right over the border? What if they live on the border? What if they live in another jurisdiction close to where they live? They go over there to go to work. They go over there to visit family. They go over the border to go to school. And they need to go to hospital and have the baby right there and then before they can go back to their home state. And ultimately, what does this mean for families in the decisions that they make every single day? You know, my parents knew when I was born that I was an American citizen. They had that certainty. It was clear to them, period, full stop. And because of that, they knew they could make all the investments that they made in me and later my sisters, that they could put everything, their heart and soul into us as Americans growing up here in Connecticut. Would my parents have opened another restaurant? Would they have bought a house? Would they have hired more workers? Would they have signed a lease? Would they have invested all the resources they've invested in my education and my sister's education? Would they have made all of those choices without the certainty of my citizenship? That's what this means for American families, not just in our states, but in every state. Um, they need that certainty that the 14th Amendment guarantees so that they can build a life for themselves in this country and for their children and do what my family and Rob's family and so many immigrant families have done for generations. Built this country, built this country into the most just, most powerful, most economically prosperous, most free country on earth. That's what we're fighting for. And that's where we're going to continue in this fight. And that's where we're going to win. Thank you. Let me turn it back to General Placken.